My role at Direct Access is I head up the capability team, and really what we do is look at giving our business, finding the people, and then developing the people so that we can give them what they want in terms of the jobs that they do. We're financial services. We're a call center of 1,200 and I think 50-ish people, 900 of which are call center agents. And we're captive. We have a different set of circumstances, I'm quite aware, to some of the others, but we've got a lot of Generation Ys in our world. Inside of that call center environment, we're bringing in salespeople, we're bringing in service people, and we're bringing in collections people. So it's that skill set that we're looking for. Certainly over the last 4 years, pipelines have been an issue, and we've really had to grapple with how do we get how do we know we're going to get the right people, we're going to fill those orders on time, and then they need to be right, and then they need to get into the jobs and be able to do the jobs and have line managers being happy, and then they also need to stay with us. So we've struggled with this for a while, and we kind of go in with the logic of the kind of unemployment that we've got. So the pool of people out there that can work inside of our business, there's no question. So over the last 3-4 years, we've done a lot of learnerships, Manyetla. We actually had our own academy because we weren't getting people in on time. So we developed our own kind of bridging program, and they all had a relative amount of success, but basically we didn't have credibility with our line managers. The process, there were just too many failures. And the failures were really around people. Too many people just couldn't do the job, or otherwise just couldn't handle it. And there was a lot more couldn't handle than couldn't do. And so in the couldn't do, it was just that skills gap from that matric certificate that means very little was just too big, and we weren't really bridging it. So when you're talking Gen Y, and that's our biggest learning inside of pipelines, is that just because there's a huge business need, don't be irresponsible and throw people into a space where on their learning path, they're not ready. They're needing stability. So our environment needs to be quite stable. We went through a process of part-timers, and that just doesn't work. So it doesn't work in a very high churn environment either. They need to be part of an internal pipeline, and they need to see that. We struggle there because the retention with those candidates is not as good. What we're seeing now, and we're in a changing environment, is what we're needing is more. And I also don't want to use even the word EQ, but we're looking for people who can think. We're looking to people who want to question why things are the way they are, and have an understanding of principles behind what they're doing. There's a sense of, I am writing my story here, and it's not. And if I don't succeed with the opportunities that exist here, then I'm responsible. And empathy comes up a huge amount. We're wanting people who have the ability to empathize, who have the ability to build relationships, and all of that in the EQ space has to also come with a potential to learn. What we've realized within our environment, that our responsibility is also to teach the skills. So that's in a nutshell what we're looking for our entry-level pipelines. Where we sit now is we've got 76 Harambees inside of our call center. We don't only recruit Harambee. So at any given point in time, our recruiters, we've got 100 orders that our recruiters are working on at any given time. The success rate has been fantastic. We've had some areas that have been less successful immediately than others, but we've learned from that. And I think there's a partnership that exists, and it's really a partnership. We need to be absolutely sure that those baseline assessments are giving us what we want. That it's truly the potential we'll feel comfortable with, and we need to test that. as well as the bridging process. We need to know what's in that bridging process. We need to not just hear from Tammy that they do some voice. We need to absolutely be involved and know. And bring our line managers through. And that takes a heck of a lot of work and pulling, but once they're in it, then the credibility is there. But it's not only that, it's after every single cohort, they get feedback. So the language issue, our first cohort came in, within a week in a certain area, they were outperforming our experienced people inside of that area. However, we had a problem with accent, and we don't have the same challenge that you do because we're a national organization, but we had a challenge with accent. We gave that feedback in November. Our next cohort came out talking like, look, and I'm sure that was in the assessment process, but I do know that they get intensive voice coaching and a whole lot of other stuff. So we haven't struggled with the languages now. I think, and I wouldn't say all 37 of our last group had perfect language communication, but you're in an interview process. So I think that's key, is that as soon as we give feedback, things get changed and things get done so that it can be done differently. And that's pretty key, because as soon as we lose credibility, if we get 3 people, 4 people, one batch of people that don't give our line managers what they want, we lose credibility in the process, and then we go back to trying to find a talent pipeline. And what we've got really out of those 76 is a whole lot of people. I can tell you, when we say behavior, the discipline is incredible. So where our learning team might need to spend a little bit extra time on some of the systems and technical stuff, they don't need to spend any time managing the discipline of timekeeping, getting your assessments done, doing stuff when you go home, etc. So none of those discipline issues, and in the workplace as well. And there's an energy and an atmosphere, and there's a culture that they're bringing into our organization that's amazing. And they are our leadership talent pipeline. So those, our 6-month cohort, the ones that we've had, they're 7 months in now. There's a percentage of them in there that are going to be part of our next Bubbling Under leadership program. And that's me.